Bancor was named after a famous economic proposal made by Keynes at the end of World War II at the Bretton Woods Conference.
Hey everybody, in this video of Proof of Make, we take a look at Bancor. Bancor is both a protocol and a cryptocurrency. Bancor started on the Ethereum blockchain, but now Bancor cryptocurrency is actually on the EOS blockchain, and it could technically be on any blockchain. So we're going to take a look at the actual cryptocurrency. Additionally, we're going to take a look at the protocol, which was inspired by a Keynesian proposal back in the 1940s during Bretton Woods. So in this video, we're going to sit down with our CTO Ty and take a look at Bancor. All right, so now I'm going to sit down with our CTO Ty and talk about Bancor. All right, so this is Bancor.
All right, Bancor.
Bancor, they raised over, I think it was $50 million last year in their token sales.
It was huge. It froze up Ethereum.
Yeah, it was slowed it down massively, bigly. Just from a user perspective, here's what you can do, right? So I can go here and I can say, hey, Storm token. I want to buy some, and I can use my Bancor account, which I actually just connected with Facebook, right? So they have their own kind of login, or I can use MetaMask. So this is more of like a centralized kind of thing using
on the
their
platform,
protocol,
on the site,
on the Bancor platform, and then MetaMask. What most people are used to is MetaMask. I click next, and then I put the amount of how much ETH I want to spend. So 0.1, so that'll be $20. I'm gonna buy some Storm. Click next.
Big Storm.
Yeah, and then what was really interesting there, and let me go back. What's really interesting here is that you can go to your slippage, right? So you can say that if the price changes by more than 3%, don't do the trade.
Right.
So you can kind of set that. So your trades aren't guaranteed.
So it protects you against
fluctuate. Yeah. So you click next, and then you click proceed. Opens up MetaMask, and then you confirm your transaction, and that's it. You get your transaction hash. What I'd like to see here is something kind of like what AirSwap does, whereby they kind of give you an estimated wait time, and they have like a count up, count down
dynamic
to that period. Yeah,
the platform didn't freeze.
Yeah, so I think for people who are not familiar with Ethereum, obviously just maybe they just got MetaMask and they're playing around with it. You say the transaction's in process. Versus when you're used to exchanging or buying or using Coinbase or something, they say, okay, you have it.
Yeah.
So since you're doing it on a decentralized platform, you have to kind of not do that. But now you just have to wait. MetaMask is just informing another window that the transaction's been confirmed.
Okay.
So let's wait to see if they tell me. We'll see. So yeah, so it looks like they're just going to expect me to refresh. So let me refresh the page, and they should show it. So what's interesting here is they don't make it immediately apparent what your portfolio looks like. So with a Coinbase or like a centralized version of this,
it's just going to be straight up there. There's a portfolio.
Yeah, here's what you have. Yeah. Now I guess what they're expecting you to do is go to your MetaMask and just maybe go to look in your tokens.
Right.
But the thing about MetaMask,
I see no store.
Is that because I'd have to manually add Storm. Right. So I could go here, click add token, search tokens, find the Storm token.
And there we go. And there's the problem.
And for example, MetaMask doesn't have Storm. So I'd actually have to go add a custom token, right? So I'd have to go here.
Get the address.
I have to go to Storm address. I have to get their decimals. I have to get so much data. I have to get these 4 points of data, and then I can add it in. So right now I can't really see what's going on. So like here, so they do have kind of my wallet. This is with my account with them, not my MetaMask. So let me try to switch over. Let me log out. And so then I'll click sign in. And yeah, they want me to sign, they kind of make me sign in with my Facebook, right? So now I'll sign in with my messenger. They'll send me a code via the message, 715270. 715270. And they'll verify it. And now that's how you actually sign in, right? So I can pay with MetaMask, or I can, try. And they have something interesting here, because when you look at your balance, at your wallet, you can actually buy ETH with a credit card.
All right.
So it's a decentralized platform whereby they let you actually purchase crypto with a credit card. So it's accessible to people who are,
So that on-ramp is a lot
easier. The on-ramp for here is a lot easier than a lot of other decentralized platforms, because they have the credit card option. So that's good on them. Additionally, they have this new feature where they have EOS tokens. So the thing about Bancor is that Bancor exists not just on the Ethereum blockchain, but also on the EOS blockchain.
Okay.
Right. I think their plan is to just be on all different kinds of blockchains and being able to trade between. You can convert EOS into Bancor, and then you can then take that Bancor and then transfer it over to the Ethereum blockchain. So with Bancor, you can move value.
Right, that makes sense because they're
chains.
holding the
Yeah. So that's a look at the basic parts of what Bancor is.
Right.
Now, Bancor has the technology. So let's take a look at the transaction I just made. So I did the quick convert function here. So my funds that I sent went from my wallet to this smart contract.
Okay.
And this smart contract is a Bancor converter.
All
right. So what it does is for every single token on their platform, they create a smart contract. So if I add, for example, a new coin called Building Coin, I can add it to Bancor, and they'll create a smart contract for that.
Okay.
And that's where people send the funds to. And what they do is they have all of these, and you can see they do a variety of transactions. And then I get my storm here.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So they have their own wrap ETH that looks like there.
Yeah. And then here's the actual. Yeah. And then here's actually, so it wraps my ETH into WETH, which is wrapped ether, and then it basically, and this is the contract whereby they have a bunch of internal transactions, and so this is actually where where my funds actually sit.
Right.
So they have $3.8 million here, and when people interact with Bancor, they're actually interacting with this smart contract.
All right. Yeah. It looks like this is the thing that also wraps the ETH wrapper that they're using because they're not using WETH. Then they can use that as like an ERC20 swap, and that's where the atomic swap stuff comes in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that, and so that's kind of how that works on a smart contract basis. What's kind of happening in the background, and as you can see, it's quite a few things. So there are no market makers for Bancor, right? It's just based on the distribution of these tokens and how people are moving. The differences between how people are changing Maker into Bancor or Bancor into WETH or WETH into
Omai's Go.
Omai's.
And then we go from Omai's Go over to BNT, or BNT over to Die 2, or
Die into Maker, or so all these weird pairs, and so they're basically they have all of this happening, and as those pairs change and people convert those over, it's basically creating like one state. So it's an interesting model. Now let's look at, and the interesting part about this is we can actually see what the volumes are. So in internal transactions, we can see that, there's about, one transaction every minute, about one transaction a minute. There's a few minutes that go by where there are no transactions, but it's not that much volume happening.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do to actually increase that volume. And their token, they're actually a nonprofit. So Bancor's goal is really interesting. So the question is, how do people benefit from the Bancor token? And the idea is that the more people want to use the ecosystem, move funds between chains, the more people want to leverage this system, the more valuable the Bancor token becomes. So it's all about creating the demand. Yeah, well, it's not fundamental to it because I don't have to exchange. So everything does move through Bancor, right?
Right.
So they want to increase the demand. The more demand causes it. But in regards to the actual company behind Bancor, they're a nonprofit,
right?
And the funds that they raise in their token sale are used for research to continue and just create more developments that can be
expand on this,
and then to build new tools, then generate revenue maybe from those new tools that they make.
Do we know what that means? Where do they go next?
That's the thing. They originally we didn't know, so they're doing things like connecting EOS. It'll be a very interesting project to continue to watch.
Cool. Yeah.